Joined now by weather presenter Chris Fawkes. And Chris, what's behind this severe flooding in Pakistan, the worst in living memory?
Yeah, the Pakistan floods are absolutely exceptional, but the rain that's causing the floods actually fell about a week ago. It was on the 29th and 30th of July across northern areas of Pakistan when the really moist tropical air interacted with a jet stream, which is further south than it normally is, and we can actually see this on the satellite loop, with a string of cloud extending across the mountains of Pakistan. The jet stream kind of sucks up the air up through the atmosphere and makes enormous thunderstorms. The surface winds then pushed all of those thunderstorms into the Himalayan regions of northern Pakistan. Now, I've got some statistics for you here. On the 29th and 30th of July, in a place called Peshawar in northern Pakistan, they managed to get 33 centimetres of rain. Now, normally in the whole month of July, they'd have about 4 or 5 centimetres. So this was about 8 times the amount that they'd normally see. And over the whole month, they had around 40 centimetres of rain. Again, that's nearly 9 or 10 times the amount of rain that they'd usually see, and this fell in a short space of time. So what we've seen actually over the recent week is that the monsoon rains have pretty much returned to normal, but we're getting this enormous bulge of floodwaters extending down the Indus River, moving from the Himalayas southwards through Pakistan and flooding all of the surrounding areas, because the Indus River, one of the biggest on the planet, just cannot cope with this volume of water that fell about a week ago now. And clearly, with more monsoon rains continuing, the normal monsoon showers, where you get 3 or 6 centimetres falling from them, well, that's just topping up the rain and topping up the river systems.
And it's not just Pakistan that's been affected. Indian-administered Kashmir next door has also been affected by the rains.
Yes, so what was unusual about the Pakistan rains was the jet stream moving further south. That's now moved northwards, back to where it normally is. In Kashmir, I think what's actually causing these heavy rains over recent days is the monsoon trough that's just been pushing northwards, and that's kind of a normal weather pattern that we see at this time of the year, with the rains extending northwards as we get on through monsoon season.
So that's a different cause in Kashmir.
It's a different mechanism, and the monsoon rains are going to continue as normal across parts of India and Pakistan. The normal monsoon downpours that bring 3 to 6 centimetres from storms and are quite hit and miss in nature.
And what about China in Gansu province? What's going on there?
Yeah, the only link really between what's happening in Pakistan and China is the jet stream. The jet stream was actually right overhead this region of China, Gansu, and in a place called Zuku. It seems that there was a blockage in the river that caused the river to back up as we had heavy thunderstorms in the area. And it was that blockage that seems to have broken, flooding the valley with the floodwaters and the rocks and the debris that's then collided with the town and caused so much destruction there.
So again, a separate cause, but some people are saying that these natural disasters, there's also been record temperatures in Russia and forest fires there, these severe floods in Pakistan, are a sign of global warming.
Yeah, and it's an interesting point. I suppose one of the things with global warming that we see is an increase in humidity around the planet. That's something that we're measuring. Now, that wasn't a factor necessarily, or not a big factor in the Pakistan floods, but if you have more humid air around the planet, when you get extreme rainfall events, when all the conditions come together at the right time, the rains could be more extreme than we've seen in the past. So these kind of events, where we see extreme rainfall in a short space of time, may well become a little bit more frequent. And as far as the heat wave in Moscow and western Russia, well, you might be interested to know that the first half of this year, January to June, was the second warmest on record when we look at all the land and all the ocean temperatures around the planet. So in this globally warming world that we seem to have, maybe it's not a surprise that with natural climate variability, that on the hottest occasions we start to see these temperature records being broken, like we've seen in Moscow so far this year.
Fascinating, if somewhat scary. Thanks very much, Chris. Thanks.